Hi guys, this is Pete. Hey, I'll tell you what gang, if you're thinking about driving for Uber in Queensland particularly, or in Australia for that matter, then go and crack yourself open a beer or a bourbon like I'm doing. There's just no nicer sound in the world, is there? Settle yourself down and watch this video. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a long one, and to those of you that normally would watch my videos, you'd know that I always shoot them in one take, and I never work from a script. I store it all up here. However, in this video I've got a lot to cover, and so there will be some jump cuts, alright? So be it. Otherwise I don't want to leave all the boring shit and the mistakes in there. I'm going to edit all that shit out. Now, I also need to say straight up, first and foremost, the views that I'm expressing here tonight in this video are my own personal views and my own experiences only. They are in no way shared by Uber Australia, and probably in no way shared by a lot of the politicians that I'm going to talk about in this video. Alright, go and grab yourself a drink and get comfortable. Righto. Uber Australia, the myths and misconceptions. So I'm going to answer a few questions for you guys tonight. We're going to cover quite a few topics. As I said, this video is going to go on for a little while. So I'm just going to fire a few questions out there, and I'm going to answer them as openly and honestly as I can. Once again, based on my experience in the 5 or 6 months that I've been working with Uber here in Queensland. Now, this video is going to be more for Queenslanders because there's a lot of bullshit legislation going on at the moment to try and stop Uber in Queensland, as opposed to 4 of the other states in Australia that have already completely 100% legalised it, and Queensland will follow suit. I kid you not, that will happen, guaranteed. But anyway, I'll get to that shortly. So, if you want to drive for Uber in Queensland, is it legal? Well, it's a bit of a grey area, but it really depends on who you talk to. If you talk to the taxi industry, definitely not 100% illegal. If you talk to the Department of Transport here in Queensland, or Queensland Transport as it's called, nah, we're pretty sure it's illegal. If you talk to the coppers here in Queensland, not too sure. Could be illegal, not too sure. We don't really want to deal with it. We'll let the boys at the Queensland Transport Department, those inspectors, we'll let them deal with it. Now, if you talk to the magistrates and the court system in Queensland, they have no fucking clue. No fucking clue whether it is legal or illegal. Alright? Now, have there been Uber drivers fined for driving for Uber here in Queensland? Yes, there has. Have any of those fines ever been paid? No. Not one. Yada. Zip. Has any one of those Uber drivers that's been fined been prosecuted for not paying the fine? No. Not one. Yada. Zip. And the reason is, if they contest the fine, the court knows not what to do with it. So the fine runs its natural course and expires. So if you are driving for Uber in Queensland and you are issued an infringement from a Department of Transport inspector, all you need to do is turn that infringement over to the back. Excuse the fuck out of me. Lucky I'm not driving for Uber tonight because I've had a couple of bourbons. All you need to do is turn that ticket over, and on the back it is your God-given right and your legal right to apply to have the matter dealt with in a court. So you can contest it. Have the matter dealt with in a court. You fill out the details on the background, on the back of the ticket, with the infringement. You then take it in to Uber here in Brisbane, to their head office in Fortitude Valley, hand it over to them, and forget about it. They will deal with it. Their lawyers will deal with it. They've had stacks of them, and not one single fine has ever been paid, and no one has been prosecuted. Now, I want to repeat that. It's a pretty powerful statement. Not one single Uber driver has been prosecuted. So what does that say? What does that say to you guys? Does that say that the Queensland government have no fucking clue whether Uber's legal or illegal? Eh? Is that not the reason why 4 other states, New South Wales, ACT, Victoria and Western Australia, have now completely legalised the Uber share ride service? Eh? They've legalised it because they know it's a fantastic fucking service. They know it works. A little bit of competition for the cab industry. Let's face it, guys, competition never hurt anyone. Hey, what happens when you want to go and buy groceries here? You've got the choice of Coles, you've got the choice of Woolworths, you've got the choice of Aldi, hey? You've got to a lesser degree IGA. If you want to catch a cab, you've got the taxi industry. Hey? It's about time those motherfuckers got a bit of a shake-up. Alright, so let's carry on with the questions. I want to talk a little bit about some of the propaganda that the taxi industry has been spewing out to the media lately. Just spewing this utter fucking bullshit out to the media. Alright, here we go. Uber drivers are unlicensed. Nah. Wrong, but wrong. Before you can drive for Uber, you have to apply for what they call a driver's authorisation. Now, a driver's authorisation or an industry authorisation is a particular commercial licence that will allow you to carry passengers driving a vehicle, carrying passengers basically. Now, you only need a Tier 1 commercial licence. There are different tiers depending on whether you want to drive limos or taxis or coaches, whatever. But in our case, because we're only carrying 4 passengers in our own vehicles, we just need a Tier 1. Now I just want to show you what I'm talking about. I'll just cover up my licence number, even though my camera is not real good, so you probably won't see it. But this is a normal Queensland driver's licence. Now firstly, to drive for Uber, you need a full and open Queensland driver's licence, a current Queensland driver's licence. You also need to apply for this, and this is the industry authority card. All right, you must have one of these, otherwise you can't drive for Uber. Simple as that. So Uber drivers are unlicensed. Wrong. Wrong, boys. Sorry about that, you taxi guys. Wrong. Simply wrong. Okay, here's something else that the Taxi Council of Australia have been spewing out there to the press. Uber drivers are uninsured. Bam. Wrong. Wrong again. Okay, before you can drive for Uber, you must provide proof that your vehicle is comprehensively insured. That's full comprehensive insurance. You have to provide written proof of this to Uber. Alright? Now you also have to have compulsory third-party insurance, which is part of your registration of your vehicle. So your vehicle has to be fully registered and fully insured, and you must provide written proof of this to Uber, or you can't drive. Now not only that, as a backup, Uber themselves also supply a $5 million public liability cover. Now they call this an umbrella cover. In the event that there's an incident or an accident and for some unknown reason your insurance company does not want to pay. So the passengers or the riders in your car are covered by this $5 million umbrella policy. So you cabbies out there, Uber drivers are uninsured, you fuckwits, where the fuck are you getting this information from? Seriously, hey? You believe in your own fucking lies. Righto, here's something else that the cab industry has been popping out there. The vehicles that Uber drivers drive are uninspected and they're unroadworthy, and they're pieces of shit. Bah. Wrong. Again. Oh, this is getting boring. I'm going to have a big fucking yawn session. Seriously, boys, can't you come up with something better than that? Okay, to use a vehicle with Uber, the vehicle firstly must be less than 9 years old. Now that's an odd figure. I've always thought that's an odd figure. I've never understood why it can't be like less than 10 years old. But it's 9 years old. There's obviously a reason for that. I don't know. Uber, a part owned by Google, and Google in their infinite wisdom know everything. So I guess they know what they're doing. The reason it's 9 years old. Excuse the fuck out of me. So, firstly, your vehicle has to be under 9 years old. Right? Your vehicle has to be inspected by Uber. Alright? Now, this is not just taken off to some backyard fucking mechanic. It has to be inspected by Uber at an authorised Uber inspection station, and has to be regularly inspected on a yearly basis. So not only does your vehicle have to be late model, it has to be mechanically sound, it has to be roadworthy, it has to be insured, alright, and no panel damage. You can't even have a fucking tail light out. I'm telling you right now, when I took Tracy's car, I drive my partner's car for Uber, down for that initial inspection when I started driving, there was a tail light out. They wouldn't pass the car to drive for Uber. I had to take it away, get the tail light replaced, and then rebook in for another inspection. Seriously, guys, absolutely fucking bullshit. Righto, here's another thing that the taxi industry are fucking spewing out there, a bit more propaganda for you. Eh? Uber drivers don't have to go through any police checks. Oh my fucking god. You're fucking serious? It took me, personally, 6 weeks to go through the police check procedure to get this blue card so that I could drive for Uber. 6 fucking weeks. Alright? Yes, boys, Uber drivers do have to go through all the police checks. They do have to be insured. Their cars have to be late model. Oh, something else about the cars. 0 panel damage. 0 panel damage. If your car even has a dent in it, it won't get passed to drive for Uber. Pity you couldn't say the same thing about a few of those fucking rooted old fucking taxis running around out there, eh? Alright, now let's just fucking talk about these taxis just for a minute. Just while I'm on a roll. Hang on. I'll have another bourbon. I'll be fucking fired up and good to go then. How many of you out there have had good experiences in cabs, in taxis? And how many of you have had bad experiences in taxis? Now, I'd really like to hear what you guys have got to say about this, because I'm telling you right now, I guarantee that the bad experiences are far going to outweigh the good experiences when it comes to taxis. There's been so many cabs that I've got into that have had dented guards, fenders, if you're watching this in the USA, although the only fender I really know is a fucking great guitar. Yeah, fucking I love my Fender guitars. They've got panel damage, they've got lights out. Hey? The cars have got a busted grille, they've got a busted bumper bar. They're filthy fucking dirty inside. Absolutely filthy fucking dirty. Alright? They fucking stink. Hey? They fucking rattle and shake and fucking vibrate because those cars are just getting driven and thrashed 24 fucking 7. Every fucking day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. These cabs are getting thrashed. Uber drivers use their own cars. Hey? Now let's face it, most people take a bit of pride in their own cars and they look after them. And they're not out there getting thrashed every day. I'm going to talk about cab drivers in general in a fucking minute, but I just want you to drop a comment down here and let me know if you've had a good experience in a cab or if you've had a bad experience in a cab. Now let me tell you, in the 5 or 6 months that I've been driving for Uber, I only do Saturday nights. I used to do Friday nights, but I only do Saturday nights now, and I just do it for a little bit of beer drinking money. Am I a proud Uber driver? Yes, I am. Do I love working for Uber? Yes, I do. Do I love how the app works, how everything works? Do I love the interaction with Uber, the support you get? Yes, I do. Now, in the 5 or 6 months I've been driving for Uber, I have not had one single rider get in my car and say that they were not happy to be in an Uber. Every single rider has been happy to be in an Uber. And the reason I know this is because I ask them. I fucking ask them. I say, so, how you going, Mick? How you going, Tom? How you going, Julie? How you going, Susan? How have you found your Uber experience so far? Not one fucking complaint. They would prefer to be in an Uber car because they're in a nice, late model, clean, nicely smelling car, and they're paying about 30% less than what they would if they were in a taxi. Seriously? No wonder Uber's taking off. Now, yes, I will admit Uber is more a young person's thing because young people tend to embrace the technology, and 90% of the riders that I get in my car on a Saturday night are young people. They love the technology. It's all app-based, you know, these fucking smartphone fucking things. Hey? I didn't even own a smartphone until 5 or 6 months ago. But they're embracing the technology. But it is the way of the future. So you do get a few older people, sort of my age, in their 40s, 50s. But a lot of them, it's the first time they've used an Uber. Won't be their last though. So, I'm digressing, I'm waffling on. I told you this was going to be a long video. I hope you guys went and got yourself a beer or a bourbon or something to sit down and relax before you watch this. Alright, let's answer a few more questions. How much money do you make driving for Uber? Now once again I'm talking about Queensland. Alright, so it depends on when you drive, of course. If you want to drive at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday morning, you're going to make fuck all. But if you want to drive the hot spots and the hot times, which are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, Sunday afternoons, then you will clear. Now I'm talking about clear. I'm talking about after your car expenses are taken out, after Uber take out their 20% running expenses, you should clear about $30 to $35 an hour. Now I've proven this time and time again. And I know there's a lot of unhappy Uber drivers out there at the moment saying, fuck, I'm only getting $10 an hour, you know. Well, stop fucking driving on a Thursday morning. You know, get out there and drive when riders want cars. It's not fucking rocket science. It's not fucking rocket science. So, on a Saturday night, I'll usually start about 5:30 in the afternoon and go through to about 1:30 in the morning. And I'll usually make net, now I'm talking net profit, between 250, 300 bucks, maybe a little bit more for that sort of 6, 7 hour shift. So, I mean, you guys do the maths, work it out. It's also, in my opinion, if you're going to drive for Uber, you really should invest, if you don't already have one, you should invest in a small, economical car. A little 4-cylinder auto, and trust me, you want an auto because most of your driving is going to be around the city. Nice little 4-door, 5-seater automatic car. I've got mates that are driving BMWs. Now most of you know that I own a BMW and I love my BMWs, but I would never use it for Uber. It's too fucking thirsty on fuel. I drive Tracy's Kia Rio. Kia Rio, perfect car for driving fucking Uber, perfect. So I've got mates that are driving big cars and they're not making anywhere near the money because they cost too fucking much to run. Alright, so where was I at? I can't fucking remember. Can someone drop a comment and tell me where the fuck I was at in this video? Righto, let's have a fucking jump cut. I'll tell you what, I've done alright. Remember, right at the beginning of this video I said there's going to be lots of jump cuts and I'm not going to get it all in one take. I tell you what, you've got to admit, I'm fucking doing alright so far, aren't I? Righto, let's go to a fucking jump cut. Cut! Alright, let's talk about Bob Katter. Bob Katter is a politician here in Queensland that just last week imposed a bill to double the fines for Uber drivers and also double the fines to companies that promote it. In other words, Uber. Alright? So, what's up, Dale? Hey? Hey, come on, you're right. I wish you guys could have seen that. My partner Tracy's standing in the kitchen. I'm out here on the deck, and we're both smokers, although I smoke the electronic ones these days. Oh yeah. I'm smoking 18mg nicotine juice. Fucking beautiful. But we don't smoke inside, we smoke out on the deck. And she's standing in the kitchen looking out the window, wanting to come out on the deck to have a ciggy. And of course I'm shooting this video, and she's looking at me, and I looked over and she's going... She doesn't want to be on camera. You finished? You finished? Anyway, she's right, she's had her durry, and we're about to continue. Now, where was I? I remember we were about to talk about Bob Katter. So, as I was saying, Bob Katter is a local politician based in Mount Isa. That's his electorate. And there are no Ubers in Mount Isa. Just a half a dozen scraggy old cab drivers up there that are probably all mates of Bob Katter's. And he introduced a bill to double the fines for Uber drivers and Uber. Okay, now that's been passed, and it's being introduced on the 28th of this month, which is only a few days away. Now, he was also trying to get demerit points introduced for Uber drivers. They never passed that, that failed. So, in effect, will this new Bob Katter legislation affect anything with regards to people driving for Uber? No. There was already fines in place, like I've explained. Nobody's paid them. Nobody's been prosecuted. Doesn't matter, you've increased the fines for the drivers to $2.5 grand. You could increase them to fucking $2.5 million fucking dollars. It wouldn't matter. Nobody's getting prosecuted. You're a fuckwit, Bob Katter. You are a dead set fuckwit. So go ahead, increase the fines fucking all you want. It is only a matter of time before Uber is legal in Queensland. 100% legal. Just a matter of time. And let me say this, cabbies, you are on fucking notice. You are on notice. You have been warned. Your days are numbered. Unless you pull your fucking socks up. Now, don't get me wrong. I kind of, a little bit, feel sorry for... Actually, I really don't feel fucking sorry for them. Why am I fucking lying? But, you know, there's a lot to be said for people that have $400,000 or $500,000 invested in a T-plate or a taxi licence out there. So I do feel a little bit sorry about that, but actually I don't. Jump cut! Jump cut! Look, I do feel for people that have a lot of money invested in a T-plate, in a taxi licence. $400,000 or $500,000, but you know what? This has been coming for a long time, and you guys have had it on your own for too fucking long. Nothing wrong with a bit of competition. Now, for any of you guys out there that have sat through this entire video, all three of you, I'd love you to drop a comment down here and let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear your experiences with Uber, and you know, for those of you that are watching this video from other parts of the world, particularly in the USA, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on the whole Uber experience. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Personally, I love it. I really enjoy my Saturday nights driving for Uber. It's a whole ton of fun. I meet a lot of happy people. You know, it's just all been good for me so far. So, you know, I don't know. Is Uber going to be legalised in Queensland soon? Yes, it is. Alright, so, I think I'm done. I hope for those of you that are considering driving for Uber in Queensland, or in Brisbane, that you go ahead and do it. Absolutely go ahead and do it. I was actually at a meeting yesterday, last Saturday. Excuse the fuck out of me once again. Last Saturday at Uber head office at Fortitude Valley, and they threw a barbecue and invited all the Uber partners. They like to call them partners, but let's basically we're drivers. Invited all the Uber drivers down, threw on a barbecue and to answer questions regarding this new Bob Catter policies that have been implemented now. There were a couple of drivers ambushed young Alex. Alex is one of the managers here at Uber, and we're going on about you know, how Uber have lowered the fares by 20% and how they're not making as much money and all this sort of thing. And this last couple of minutes of this video, I just want to address that. For people that are already driving for Uber and have been driving for a long time, and having a bit of a sook and a bit of a fucking whinge, and basically being little fucking fairy ass faggots about not making as much money as they were this time last year because Uber implemented some policies with regards to dropping the fares to encourage more riders. You know what, guys, if you're doing Uber full time and it's a full time gig for you, then fucking too bad, so sad. You should be treating Uber as it was intended. It should be a hobby to supplement your income, and it should be a whole ton of fun. And if you're not enjoying it, then fuck off and go and drive a cab. Because let's face it, none of those cab drivers are enjoying what they fucking do, so go and fucking join them. Hey, seriously. I, for one, personally, have found that my earnings have actually gone up since Uber implemented a few of these changes late last year. And for those couple of blokes, and you know who you are because you'll be watching this video because of the title of it, for those couple of blokes that ambushed Alex at the Uber meeting last Saturday, mate, you're fuckwits. You're just fucking sad, sorry ass, angry fucking men, eh? As a matter of fact, I thought you must have been fucking cab drivers, eh? Fucking, that's what I thought, eh? Just fucking pull your fucking head in and get over it. Uber is a service that allows you to make some fucking money driving your car. That's all they've ever proclaimed to be, and that's all they are. Make some extra fucking cash driving your car. That's what they are. Alright? So if you can't get off your lazy fucking ass and get a real fucking job, eh, and you're fucking whinging because you're not making as much money driving for Uber as you were last year, fuck you. Eh? A bunch of fucking faggots. Alright. I think I'm done. I hope this has cleared a few issues up. And I said about 5-6 minutes ago that there was probably still 3 people watching this video. I reckon there's probably 1 now. Alright guys, I'm Pete, love yous. See you next time. Go Uber. I love Uber.